Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Terracards 1.3. It is great to be here and I hope you're doing well today, folks. So on the docket today, I do have another run. And what we're going to focus on today is trying to go for level 2, right? We're trying to level up today. Leveling up is the name of the game today. And I have a few achievements that I've sort of zeroed in on that hopefully we can take care of in the same run. So the first one is save the animals, right? So we already have level 1 unlocked. We'll actually probably be taking that into the field with us. But we want to get the next level. And to get the next level, we have to get to turn 250 without any animals on the farm. So that's obviously a veganism run, right? And this is a really strong one because it gives +1 production to all crops, just across the board. So this is a good one to get upgraded as soon as possible. That's what we're doing today. Secondly, we are going to see if we can work in 7 Seas Explorer level 2. So get 85 islands. I mean, across the span of 250 turns, you'd think you should be able to get 85 islands, but of course we will see. So that is the plan today, and we're going to hop right on in. Let's go with the new farm here, and which character should we choose? Well, I think there's one obvious one to go with. That is, of course, the Cowton Agent. So the Cowton Agent does start with veganism, which is going to be beneficial to us, of course, given that we will not have animals. I'm also kind of excited to try out this kit a little bit, right? The soy start. Don't really start with the soy too often, right? +2 production to plant cow per soy on adjacent islands as well, so we can keep this in mind as well, the vegan cows buff. So that's what we're going with here today, folks, and we're going to hop right on in for our achievements. Let's go with, obviously, save the animals. And let's rock 7 Seas Explorer as well. I mean, monoculture is another option for sure. But if we're going to be expanding to... yeah, let's go monoculture. I think we'll have enough income, at least early on, to expand. So let's do that. And let's hop right on it. For the title of the farm, let's call it Leveling Up, because that's what we're doing here today. So we're going to hop right on in here, folks. And Logan, shout out to you, my friend. You're right. The mouse wheel does zoom in. So we're going to keep this at 50%. Y'all let me know if the zoom's good or bad, if it's too zoomed in, not zoomed in enough. Whatever. Apparently, we have the flexibility to toggle it. So we're going to rock it at 50% here for now. And let's start with a plant cow opening, right? How many times can you say that? Well, I suppose you can in 1.3 now. So let's go ahead and play 3 of them. And then the watery tree. So we actually get, a decent water buff just right off the bat. So that's pretty cool. So we'll take that. But we obviously have to get some product to sell. Water wells. Yeah, let's go with some early water wells here. We are going to need a water source beyond just the watery tree. And if we remember the innate buff of the Cowton Agent, this is adjacent soy will buff up our plant cows, so we might as well start a soy island right here as well. And let's just take a look. So 16, 24. Okay, so it's making it real mighty. Absolutely. Very nice. We will certainly take that. Of course, we can get some tofu rocking, right? Let's get a water well here. Let's get a couple of them. And some more soy here. Bolster our plant cows, of course. All right, so what are we looking for? Obviously, we're looking for a whole bunch of crops, right? So apple tree, peanuts, carrots. None of those really strike my fancy. I do like corn, though. Corn's strong. We have a good water base right now, so let's rock some corn for sure. Obviously, want to continue to rock soy as well. Probably get a little tofu operation off this island here. I think that's warranted as well, given the production of our plant cows. I mean, it's mighty. And as far as getting more plant cows, that is a great question, if that's a question that you have. I mean, maybe it's not a question that you have, but I would assume, I mean, there used to be an essence reward. If I remember right, there used to be an essence reward that turns all of your cows into plant cows. Now, I personally haven't seen that essence reward. Let me know in the comments if you have. But as far as getting more plant cows, I don't know how to do that. Juicer. Yes, we do want the juicer. So let's go with that. Obviously, all soy milk, which is the product of our plant cows here. It can be juiced into... actually, let me think about that for a second. Juicer. I like this search function. It's very nice. Yeah, so the plant cow is already... So it's the soy that gets juiced. Yep, into soy milk. And then we need a fermenter. So basically, let's get a juicer right here. And let's get a fermenter right here. So let's do that. Boom. Need a fuel solution now. Water well. Do we need it? Yeah, we can throw it down. All right, more soy. We have a melter. Let's grab more soy. Maybe we can kind of explore the viability of soy in this one as well. I mean, we have to get the turn 250 here, folks, so it's definitely a long road, right? The bills get very expensive. Crusher, mixer. Don't need a fuel corn. That's a fuel solution. I personally like fuel wheat better for a run like this. Fuel corn's decent though. But let's roll by it. Actually, no. I changed my mind. Let's take it. And let's just review. Okay, so 128. These guys are getting real mighty. So probably a melter right here in the center. So let's go. I believe it is currently bugged. Usually you can mix fuel corn and regular corn on the same island and recognize the same buffs. Or recognize the corn buff, I should say. The homogeneity buff, right? But I think that's currently bugged. It's being fixed by the development team right now, but currently bugged. So let's go with golden chance. None of these essence rewards really help us out. A few useful ones would of course be tropical soil. That'll be a very useful one. And here's the fermenter. So this is nice. So let's go with the fermenter. Let's get that on the board. And that of course will go right here. So we can juice it here and then ferment it here. All of this soy production, which is getting pretty good production, I must admit. Need some energy now. Got the sunflowers. I need the blue wheat. Here's a fridge. That's very nice. We can make tofu curds now, which is obviously an elevated product. Sells pretty well. Making 10 grand already. And that is the power of veganism there, folks. Water retreat. Yes. Certainly take it. In fact, I can build my infrastructure of blue wheat right here with the watery trees. I'm definitely not partial to arboreal bounty. I think that's a potentially strong play. More corn, yes. Could also put a watery tree right here on the soy island. But if we can fill that island up with soy, obviously with monoculture, right? You get a big buff out of that. I see us working multiple revenue streams here. I think that's the key to success. And we need an energy source. So that essentially means that we need some blue wheat, and we need it now here, folks. So if the game would be so kind, what do you say? The corn's getting mighty production. Electric carrot, I mean, that is an option. It's an uninspiring option, but an option. More corn, yeah. You can't really argue with that, right? So we obviously want the fuel corn on the melter as well. I'm less concerned about popcorn. More concerned about getting a nice fuel supply, which we can obviously achieve that with a bio generator. But if we get tropical soil, which is definitely one that we want, the corn's going to be very strong just in its base form. Because the water cost, right? But we'll of course see. I'm going to just continue to add melters and corn islands. And we do get the popcorn buff here. I mean, it's not going to do anything for us. In fact, none of these do anything for us. Let's go with the popcorn buff to usher in a new era of popcorn. But as far as adding anything to our bottom line, it's going to do nothing. We're not rocking animals. The silo goes right here. Just need that blue wheat, and we get it. Very nice. Very, very nice. Alright, so let's start things off here. Let's throw a silo down right there, and then our first blue wheat island will go here, and this will solve our energy problem rather quickly. We'll be in the positive before you know it. Here's a biofuel generator. I don't really think I need it right now, but we can certainly use more corn, absolutely. Corn's very strong early game, especially with veganism, like insanely strong. That's why if you saw, I believe it was the first episode I did on 1.3 where, you know, I was kind of more previewing and then we got a few characters unlocked. Yeah, if you saw my video there, my comment on having a character start with veganism is pretty darn powerful. But, of course, you have to have the means to kind of set yourself up and then take it deep into the game, right? So I actually think it's a perfect character to try to unlock the things that we're trying to unlock today. So for our watery tree, let's throw it right here. Capitalize on that soy production. And then as far as another island goes, we can make this a blue wheat island as well. Another fridge. Do we need it? We don't. More wheats. Not really. Antenna. Beans. Cocoa tree. Mixer. Don't need the mixer. Barn sheep lake. More blue wheat. Yeah, we'll take some more blue wheat. Get that nice energy battery. The battery that is the sunflower blue wheat combination, of course. Alright, let's just play some blue wheat, you bet. Let's play some corn. Giant carrot melter. Yeah, we do need a melter. We'll get that in place. Got a perfect spot for that. Alright, melter goes right there. Welcome in the popcorn, of course. So we're making 13k in corn per turn. More blue wheat, absolutely, we'll be taking that. And now we're making 34k in popcorn, and plus an additional 7k in corn. So yeah, it's definitely worth the trade-off for sure. And 25k in tofu as well. Got a nice little tofu operation going on right down here. So continue to play the blue wheat. Solve our resource problems for sure. And let's keep on going. I want to get a bunch of cash in the bank, and on turn 250 we can expand like a madman to get what we need for the 7 Seas Explorer upgrade. And tropical soil here, very, very nice. You love to see this. This is what I wanted. So let's go with the tropical soil, and then let's compare our corn to popcorn sell price. So we have the one island, or the 1.5 islands here producing just corn, which has a water cost to it, right? -4. This corn is being processed, so you don't get the tropical soil bonus from it. So let's see. And you can see it's denoted, excuse me, by this little gold star right here. So last turn we were at 7 grand. Now we're at 26 grand in corn. And we maintain our nice gains with the popcorn as well. So that's very nice. And a good thing to look at here is a relatively cheap product that has a water cost that can be buffed. So my mind immediately goes to wheat, right? Wheat or fuel wheat. There's many ways to buff it. It's common. And it does have a water cost. So let's consider that as an option for sure. Can probably get some on these silos here to double the water cost of it, right? And then let tropical soil do its thing. That's the thought. So let's just roll by this for now. More blue wheat. Can certainly get it in place. Do I throw a watery tree? Another one? Nah. If we can lock in some arboreal bounty, that'd be real nice. Could go more soy here to really buff up our plant cows, of course. Could probably throw a juicer right here as well. Right? I think that makes sense. So let's add a juicer here preemptively. We'll buy this island for soy, which will feed down ultimately to our operation. And also buff up our plant cows. So I think that makes a lot of sense. This is a good spot for corn. You know, all this should be taken over by corn. So for our giant sunflower, let's put it right here. I think that's a sensible spot for it. More blue wheat. Do we need more blue wheat? Could always use some more blue wheat, sure. One of my favorite cards. And frankly, just one of my favorite combos, the blue wheat sunflower. Got a bunch of watery trees, a bunch of blue wheat. Life is good here on the farm, folks. All right. 24K coming out the bank. No problem. We're actually pushing $2 million already at the early turn of day 70. And that is the power of veganism, of course. I don't necessarily attribute that to some broken build. It's simply just the power of veganism, right? Veganism and basic crops. Very, very strong. ×4 production is pretty wild if you think about it. And plus, if you consider the achievements that are giving you, you know, +1 crops, right? I mean, that just amplifies the effectiveness of veganism that much more, right? Amplifies the effectiveness of tropical soil that much more. 4 crops that have a water cost, of course. All right. Watery tree. I mean, do we need another watery tree stack? I'll take it. It's a hard card for me to turn down, if I'm being completely honest. I'm just fascinated by the watery tree. I'm also fascinated by just getting a bunch of corn. So field corn is taking -10. So let's consider this for a second. So let's take a look at field corn here, right? Field corn. So it gives a field corn. Costs 5 water. Gives a field corn that sells for $1. Right? But it's also costing -10 water. So it will sell for 21, actually. Right? It's double the water cost. Yeah. So just isolated field corn islands not on a melter is probably a good idea as well. So I think field corn becomes a really strong crop, as well as field wheat and regular wheat on a silo. So let's keep that in mind as well. More field corn, yes. First off, let's homogenize our islands here. Fill them up. 37K doesn't matter to us. Wheat expansion. I think that's a good one to get. So let's do it. Although I do think that one's bugged as well. I think it only works for regular wheat right now. That's being fixed by the developer as well. So oftentimes, you know, when you go to a new game system, which effectively this update did, right? The developer painstakingly rewrote all the code into a new game system, into Game Maker, essentially, from Godot, right? So when you do things like that, you're bound to get some bugs. So I've been monitoring the Discord pretty closely, and the developer is really taking lead and taking charge. He's going to come out with a hot fix real soon to address some of the, you know, issues that were put forth by the community. But if you're finding issues yourself, go to the Discord and please report them. It does help make the game better faster for sure. All right, so let's see how we're doing with our field corn. $2 grand, right? And we're only selling, looks like 90 something. So that has good potential. Let's grab the wheat. I think the wheat and a water tank is going to be very good for us. So let's get the water tank down. I think I will get a watery tree down as well. I'm thinking future arboreal bounty here. And then we can just go ahead and get wheat. Right? Let's get some more wheat and a watery tree right here. We want to get that water cost high, right? That's the point. And then you're actually going to see how strong wheat can be. Because it can be pretty darn strong. Do I have any more watery trees in hand? I do. I have 2. Alright, so definitely going to add them to these 2 islands once I get them in my hand. Giant sunflower, giant carrots. More corn. Yeah, we'll take some more corn. You bet. I have 6 wheat remaining. Not bad. Alright. More corn. Let's do it. And let's wait for the last watery tree here. that I don't draw into my hand. That's where dealer's hand really does come in handy. Blue wheat. Do we need more blue wheat? Not really. We're doing pretty good on energy. We're not really getting sunflowers. Blue wheat does not have a water cost too. Do note. It has an electricity cost, actually. How about some more, like, soy? I don't often desire soy, but our build is set up pretty fine for some soy. Giant sunflower is another option, really, but let's roll by it for now. We got some disposable income. All right, let's take it. You twisted my arm, game. You twisted it. Let's throw some more corn right here. And how about that watery tree? What do you say? There it is. All right, so watery tree in the corner. Some more wheat here. All right, so we're getting 24 production. We're getting 184 production. My goodness. Shows you the power of that water tank and that silo, right, to double things up. If we get Arboreal Bounty, it's going to recognize yet another boost. But just to give you an idea, like, let's see how well this wheat's doing. 25k out of just basic wheat, right? And it's only going to get more and more mighty. So that is the power of tropical soil as well. Very strong essence reward. And the giant sunflower does benefit from veganism as well. So times 4 production. So for my system personally, I definitely have to end the turn without nerd mode on. Definitely. Alright, crap collector, fuel cow. Watery tree. Do we need another watery tree? Not really, but let's take it anyways. I want to get a silo right here. Definitely going to grab some silos. And then, of course, the cross. We'll find the cross eventually. Usually pops up once per run. Biogenny, giant cow, sunflower. Got a little bit of room for some more sunflower action. So let's do it. Maybe if I can stumble into flush here, we can go ahead and get... Yeah, you see wheat expansion not working here for sure. That's not a great spot for a sunflower, but that's alright. Should have probably put it right here. Because it's next to buildings. Alright, let's pay the taxman and let's secure our Arboreal Bounty, folks. You love to see this. So this will double the production of our wheat again. And frankly, any island that has a plant on it with a tree. So that is also our plant cows. At least it should. Because the plant cow is classified as a plant. Yeah, so 288 here. Just wild production. I'm going to be curious to see how much, how many tofu curds we actually make. $51,000 worth. Very nice. So what is the champion so far? Popcorn and tofu. It's the wheat, folks. It is the wheat. Absolutely. $100,000 in just wheat here. And that's just from a few simple islands, right? With the Arboreal Bounty bonus and obviously the water tank really helps out. 368 from a single plant on that island. You love to see it. All right. Giant sunflower, yeah. We'll just keep grabbing these. It used to be you only got one per run, but they seem to have eliminated that. So we'll be taking that all day. So that's a great spot for a silo. Let's get another regular wheat and watery tree island right here. Can also use our apple trees for Arboreal Bounty. And yeah, basically I'm really looking to maximize wheat here as much as possible. So this is a very beasted up island right here. So if we can get some, we obviously want some more silos on it, right? So if we can get another silo right here, get some more wheat right here, I'll throw a tree down there next turn before it expands too much. That's, of course, if I get the opportunity. And then just continue to kind of hold wheat. Olive tree, don't really need that. Antenna, more field corn. Yeah, we'll take some more field corn. All right, let's go apple tree right here. So obviously another silo should go right here, right? Just keep lacing in these silos to continue to double our wheat production. That's the idea. So another silo right here, you bet, which means more wheat down here. All right, field corn. Got an island somewhere around here. Not sure how many islands I'm at. I'm guessing probably no more than 25, maybe 30. All right, sunflowers. Yeah, we can take some sunflowers. Sure thing. And really, we just need a lot of silos, right? So that's another great spot for a silo. Another great spot for a silo is right here, which means more wheat can go right here. We do have a tree, correct? Yeah, one apple tree. We'll wait till we have the apple tree in hand. Get that one played. Day 108 here. Sunflower, field corn, bunch of sunflowers here. Let's get those played. Even though they're not optimized right there, that's okay. They still boost the blue wheat. All right, Taxman. Take your money and be on your merry way. Oven, giant carrot. So the oven shows up, I've noticed, when you start playing the apple tree. That's kind of what prompts the oven to show up, interestingly enough. 8 apple trees. I'm going to go with... We could certainly... Let's go with the solar panel. I've got a fun idea for this. Continue to build out our sunflower island here. Waiting for that tree. And then we'll keep this wheat expanding. Alright, so if you play a solar panel on an island adjacent to a sunflower, you get the very cool looking sprite, the electric sunflower. It also does bolster our energy just a little bit, which bolsters our giant sunflower, of course. We're getting into the $1 million range to re-roll. Yikes, but it's worth it because we do secure a silo. Actually, a 2-stack. So let's get it right here and right here. Let's get this one so beasted up that the numbers mix together, right? So if that is the case, we'll be throwing more wheat right here. 348,000 and 105k from the wheat. Might as well put the other solar panel down right there as well. All right, looking for some more trees for sure. Looking for some more trees to help bolster our wheat. And we want to get the trees in place before we play the wheat, of course. But let's go ahead and play the silo. That's a great spot for it. Also a great spot for it. And 1472. All right. Let's see how wheat performs now. Here's some olive trees. Certainly will take those. All right, how's the wheat performing now? $1.04 million per turn in just wheat here, folks. So that is the power of wheat. Wheat is incredibly mighty with the right support structure. Tropical soil, veganism, wheat expansion certainly does help. And arboreal bounty is a nice little cherry on top. But it's the tropical soil and it's the consistent doubling of the water cost that the silo does to it, right? So, right, 32 water per wheat plant here. Well, that all goes into the sell price. So $65 per wheat. And then it's just a math equation from there, right? So let's continue to play our wheat and continue to add silos. It's going to be the key to get this to 250 and beyond. So we're going to have more wheat right here, right? Except for I've got to be careful with the olive tree. Adjacent island wheat water cost is 0. So that's adjacent island. So as long as we do a little grid like this, we'll be okay. But certainly have to be careful. All right. So this would be more wheat right here. This would be more wheat as well. And let's just continue to expand here. More wheat. Build a little power diamond. All right, looking good. Looking good. So let's let wheat expansion do its thing, of course. Make that good money. Just need a lot of silos now. So I'm very interested in grabbing flush if it comes up. Elite cows, peanut fest, and field grapes. Let's grab field grapes. I haven't seen a grape plant yet, I don't believe. That might not be true, but I don't really see myself capitalizing on that too much. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, so silo right here. More wheat right here for sure. And we want the regular wheat because that's the only one that expands with wheat expansion right now, of course. Doing a pretty good job about playing our cards, that's for sure. Making 1.4 million a turn, about. And it's a pretty basic build so far here, folks. There's nothing really too crazy going on. Just strong essence rewards and get some more silos. We will take those with a smile. Alright, day 125. Well, 124, I should say. Alright, let's get a silo right here. So now this is completely optimized, right? Almost 3,000 production out of our given wheat plants. That is just wild stuff. So what else can we do? I think this is a good spot. Absolutely. Let's check that income now. $4.16 million per turn in wheat here, folks. Field corn, yes. Don't mind if I do. I'm just playing with house money here now. Alright, some more field corn that's off the melter. Just keep it all bunched up. Take advantage of that high water cost. Making almost 5 mil a turn. Water well, fisherman's huts. Giant sunflower. We'll take it. Looking for flush. Be great to get flush. It would be great to get the cross as well. If we got the cross here, folks, you can effectively double our income from wheat, essentially. And if we manage to get flush before we get the cross, well, then we're looking at... Then you can play... Well, so if you have dealer's hand first, and then you get flush, and then you get the cross, you can play 6 crosses. And that is essentially game breaking. We'll see what happens here. Haven't seen the cross yet, and I mean, flush and dealer's hand have to be in there somewhere, right? I think we can do something with these sunflower seeds too. We can crush, right? Crush and melt them. So I'll keep my eyes open for that as well. Church, peanuts. No, we're good. More soy. Yeah, got a soy island right there. Let's do it. as far as like overall game performance goes, right? Like, obviously I called this out in my last video. It's just kind of at the draw phase where I think there's a big opportunity to try to enhance some of the performance. But, you know, all other phases of the game perform way better. They just do. So hopefully the development team can take a look and do something about it, right? Fermenter, water well and mill, Easter bunny, another giant sunflower. My goodness. Yeah, we'll take it. I mean, why not? It's free, boosted up, beastly production. I mean, 2120 per giant sunflower. Just wild stuff here, folks. Sitting at what, 85 mil now? $84.49 million. And we have Bunny Like Carrot, Blackwater, and Elite Cows. I guess I'll go with Elite Cows. We got to go to turn 250 here. Fuel Wheat. So I know that this one does not expand, so let's go with Field Corn. Fuel Wheat is a viable choice, though, in that it has a water cost, right? So we could certainly do kind of what we're doing off to the left with our wheat, with Fuel Wheat as well, but let's take the Field Corn, fill out this island here, and then start a new one. Popsicle solar panel, oven biogenerator. Let's re-roll a watery tree. Here's some grapes for some field grapes. I mean, our fuel production isn't really all that crazy. I'll grab the watery tree. I don't feel like messing around with field grapes. It has been nerfed significantly, but it's still pretty darn strong. We got a nice spot for the watery tree right here to further boost our soy. This is going to juice, of course, and then process further into the curd and into the tofu chunk. A nice chunk of tofu here, 84K. 4 million in wheat. It's still funny. It's still funny to me. Fuel Wheat. Yeah, we'll take the Fuel Wheat now. It's either that or the crusher. We can go Fuel Wheat. I'm sure I'll be seeing the crusher again. All right, so Fuel Wheat it is, and we should have a decent infrastructure in place. Yeah, here's an island right here. And what's the water cost? 8? Yeah, we'll take that. And evidence that the Fuel Wheat does not expand. It's supposed to, but it doesn't in this current version of the game. So that's being fixed. A Blue Wheat, Watery Tree Fermenter. Let's roll. Pretty good options there, actually. Blue Wheat doesn't really inspire me anymore. Although the reroll cost is getting just insane. Regular corn, yeah. We'll take some regular corn, but my goodness, did we roll away a lot of our bankroll there. But this is effectively how you obliterate the game with wheat, right? And I'd be interested for some of you folks that have a much longer attention span than I do. I'd be curious how far you can take a wheat build like this. Because based on what I've seen, and do let me know in the comments kind of what success you've had with wheat. If you've tried to run like this. And how far can you actually take it? Because in my experience, even late game, I see a lot of things like silos, right? Wheat. Like, you tend to continue to get the basic necessities for this build. At least that's what I've seen. So do let me know what kind of success you've had with a wheat-like build, right? And we're at the 40-minute mark here. Things are slowing down at turn end quite a bit. The overall placement, right, the physical playing of the cards, that's what really took a long time previous, in my experience. That's much better. It absolutely is. But at turn end, it is getting pretty noticeable. So another silo here, 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 here. Which means more wheat here, here, and here. So let's add our olive trees. Got to be getting close to 85 islands by now. Just need the silos, frankly. More olive trees. Alright, so I mean, we could really just continue to expand this. So silo there, there, there. Which means more wheat here, here, and here. So let's get the arboreal bounty tree in place. And let's play this ear of fuel wheat. Boom. Alright, looking good. $100 million. One silo. Yeah, we'll certainly take the one silo. It's better than no silos, for sure. So this would be another zone for a silo. Another silo, meaning wheat and wheat. All right, for the lone silo that we have, where's the most opportune place to put it? I mean, I think this is a good spot for it. Yeah, let's throw it right here. It only gives you, you know, another 5,000 water per turn with the watery tree, which is pretty crazy. But we managed to build a pretty nice grid here, making 5.6 million per turn. Sunflowers. Sure. And day 160 here, Essence Reward Selection Day. Let's see what we get. We get Dealer's Hand, Dionysian Rites, Paste Bloom. Given I've been playing all my cards with relative ease, let's go with Dionysian Rites. I think it makes sense. It's a good, solid selection. So let's go ahead and get some more sunflowers right here. I think that's a fine spot for them. Can always fill out this island first, though. Some more of those cool-looking electric sunflowers. Alright, turn end here. Draw phase. What do we get? Water tank. Yeah, I'll definitely be taking the water tank. You see what it does for this island here, right? So let's find a good spot for it. I think it's pretty odd. So you definitely want it. You want to surround it with 4 silos, right? We're kind of, I don't want to say maxed out, but we definitely have we definitely have a shocking need for the silo. That's for sure. So let's go ahead and let's just play it right here. Let's get some more basic wheat in our hand. Let's get more silos. Let's just keep rocking and rolling. On the shoulders of the Cowton agent, right? Grapes. Yeah, we could go with some grapes. Sure, why not? I think I've already displayed that, you know, field grapes is not the necessity for victory here, right? We're not relying heavily on field grapes. But let's see what it does. So the fuel cost is minus 90, right? Production is 42,000. Yeah, so just newsflash. Field grapes is still very strong, but it does really tap out your fuel production. That's for sure. But now we should be making... Yeah, so we got 423k. And I believe, yeah, so the way tropical soil used to be, it used to just give you 12 gold per raw crop that you're selling, plus 12 gold to the sell price. And that made field grapes really, really strong, right? So the nerfs that are in place really do take down field grapes just a little bit. And yeah, we got to be careful here. Minus 990. My goodness. All right, yeah, we're going to have to address that for sure. So let's get like a biofuel generator or something that can help us put it over the top. Put a water tank right here. 352. And get another water tank right here. I mean, luckily we have a nice little surplus of fuel, right? 1.4 mil comes out of the bank. Day 170. Getting close to another essence reward here, and the draw phase. What do we have? Biofuel generator. Exactly what the doctor ordered here, folks. You love to see it. All right, so where is the best spot to put this? I mean, do we sack like our fuel corn island here? Just one of them? I think that's completely fine. So let's do that. Boom. Plus 15,000 now. It's amazing how strong the biofuel generator is. And it looks like the fuel cost really creeps up based on how many grapes you have on the island, right? So you certainly got to watch it. In fact, I remember, so I loaded up a save where I did a field grapes run. And this was right after the field grapes has been changed, right? And, yeah, I went into that farm. And I was doing fine on all resources. I went in, I was like minus, 30 million fuel per turn. It was pretty crazy. Here's the cross. So I will take the cross over the silo absolutely any day. And this will just send our little farm here into orbit. But I think what I'm going to do is before I play it, I'm going to wait to day 180 to see if we can secure flush. Because if I can secure flush, it's going to be pretty wild. Now we're at minus 4,500 fuel. Not fully understanding why it fluctuates. Unless maybe we were on Dionysian rights. Hard to say. More wheat. Yeah, let's grab more wheat. It's like foreshadowing. We're going to get flush here on day 180. I just feel it. Sometimes you just get that feeling. And then flush, of course, will be very nice for us as it relates to, obviously, the cross, but think maybe biofuel generators, think silos as well, right? Think about all of the potential there. Lots of potential. All right, so let's just keep playing wheats. And the spots that we have reserved for the wheat. Pay the tax man. Small fence. Solar panel. Fridge. Giant sunflower. Another giant sunflower. Or regular wheat. Let's go with the giant sunflower. I'm cool with that. Paste bloom, home sweet home. Let's go with paste bloom, I suppose. Although it's nothing really impactful at all. Alright. What other islands need a little wheat action? So I could wait until day 200 here. I think I'll play the cross next turn. But we're going to get some more wheat coming our way here. So let's make sure we get it played. Fill out this grid that we're building here. Alright, so now our fuel is back up to 8,300. Not entirely sure what's going on there. So let's play the cross. There we go. 7 Seas Explorer 2 has been unlocked. Have 85 islands. So we did that. We're making $10 million per turn. So 10 million. So keep that number in mind. Let's play the cross. And then let's check our income. Literally one card is going to make an incredible difference. Especially when you're going with a wheat build. And although I'd love to give all the props to this shiny giant sunflower we added last turn, it's the cross. And $21 million here, folks. And to give you just a small idea here, 1.1 mil out of that stack of wheat. $13 million out of just a stack of basic wheat. And I can't quite see that number. Is that 1.1 billion units of wheat? Kind of looks like it. I miss the ability to singularly sell things. Be nice to have that back, but yeah, $13 million in just a stack of wheat. Just wild stuff. And you know where it's coming from. It's coming from that one island that is literally all beasted up. So centrifuge, do we need it? Yeah, we could use it. So let's take a look. Almost 7,000 units of wheat per plant. Minus 64 water cost. Double that. Tropical soil, right? That's where our riches are coming from, for sure. So just wicked stuff. Wild stuff. Alright, centrifuge is going to be played right here on this island. If we can get a crusher and a melter in our hands, we can do something with it. But boy, is this game struggling right now. Alright, draw phase. What do we have? Well, we have $350 million in the bank. Juicer. $35 million reroll. Yikes. Another giant sunflower. Let's grab the water tank. Just don't really need another giant sunflower. Although I do like that you can get multiple copies. That's really cool. It's actually kind of overpowered if you ask me. But I'm not complaining here, folks. We have achievements to unlock, of course. All right, so for a water tank, I think we could get one right here with the tree. Got a lot happening here. I wonder what the next tier up of 7 Seas Explorer is. You know, do we try to go for that in this one as well? I mean, maybe. I think if I recall, it's something like 225 though, which is quite a bit. Let's reroll once. Yikes, $100 million reroll. It's just so hard to even fathom that as being an option. So let's grab another fridge. Could always use a beer fridge, I suppose, right? $3.2 mil, man. We spend that in just re-rolling. Let's throw the fridge down right there. It's a good spot for it. We have another 60 turns of this. And we're seeing some definite performance issues. This is a build. I didn't do this exact build, obviously, because this was before 1.3, but I did a build similar to this and had kind of similar issues, right? Had a lot of the same essence rewards. Definitely had some similar issues, though. Let's go with the solar panel. It's non-invasive. I think if I just subsequently end my turn here, probably a way to speed this up just a little bit. So I'm sure this is great content. But no, we want to get some achievements unlocked here, folks. That's what we're going for. Usually I don't push the limit to day 250 on the channel here. We just kind of stick around the 200 day mark. It usually is enough time to determine how strong a build actually is, right? Like, you can get a pretty darn good feeling after 200 days how viable a build is, and that's what we like to do here on the channel. Let's grab some blue wheat. So, I mean, this is a very, very strong build, obviously. Very strong. And you kind of saw it all come together, right? The often overlooked wheat is pretty amazingly strong. So let's add some more blue wheat here. Yeah, so we have another 50 days of this. I'm thinking it might be something that I'll probably end up cutting out a portion of this footage. I think you get the idea. I think you can understand and visualize that we're going to make it to the 250 day mark without a problem. We haven't played an animal yet, right? So we're going to get that achievement unlocked. So I think I will definitely cut some of this out to spare you, right? So I think what I'm going to do here, folks, given the performance of the game overall, I will pop back in with any kind of exciting happenings here. But otherwise, I'm going to take this to day 250 off video, and I'll pop back in once the achievement is gained. And we'll kind of go from there, and we'll wrap the video up from there. So I'll be right back, and we will outro this video. Thank you so much for your viewership, and I do apologize for the performance issues. Thanks a lot. All right, folks, I am back. Welcome back. So I got it all the way to 249. Day 249, that is. And boy, was that a painstaking process. But as you can expect, everything went swimmingly, right? Everything went great. We're sitting at about $1.46 billion. Of course, on the back of some very strong and lucrative wheat production. So day 249, I'm going to end my turn here, and let's get the achievement. Let's wrap this thing up. So the turn does end there on the day 250, and you can kind of see and understand some of the things that I've been dealing with here and ending my turn. But we get it, Save the Animals 2 and Monoculture 2 as well. Okay, so I think monoculture is bugged in that it's giving it out like candy, which I'm not complaining about that. But we get another 2 achievements there. Just lovely stuff. So another thing I wanted to do is let's spend some of this cash. Like, this is, of course, before I leave. But let's spend some of this cash and just expand our islands. Let's see if we can get 7 Seas 3. I mean, obviously, the island cost is going to catch up to us eventually, but let's see if we can't get it. I mean, I don't know if it's like 250 or what. I know that we at least have more than 85, right? But we can certainly afford this. So if we have a run this strong, you might as well spend that liquid cash on getting more achievements. Why not? So let's see. So is there an island counter? There is not. Okay. Maybe they should add that. I think that would be a good thing to add, just an island counter, especially if there's an achievement that aligns with it, right? But yeah, we are not even making a dent in the wallet, so I'm going to keep doing this. Can you imagine the amount of lag that would take place if all of these islands were filled up? I certainly can. But it's only going up by 10 grand, it looks like. So we might be here for a while. But we got to be getting close. Like, we have to be. Either that, or maybe you have to lock in the achievement first and then go into a new run. You know, like you can't get 2 upgrades of the same run. Hey, there we go. 7 Seas Explorer. 200 islands. Perfect. So we can certainly get the next one later on here, but this is the overall view of the farm. Got plenty more of these nice giant sunflowers, right? But the real money maker is, of course, right here. In this just mighty wheat spot right here, right? This just key zone. And you love to see it. It made us a billionaire. Allowed us to get 3 achievements unlocked. So here are the final statistics here. If you care about this, 1.73 billion made. And yeah, I feel like we could take this run. If I had the wherewithal, that is, we could take this run a whole lot further. Because, you know, 28, 30 million per turn. And then plus, just keep adding wheat, right? Just keep adding wheat, keep adding silos. And this thing goes to the moon, literally. But with that said, folks, let's back on out of the farm and take a look at some achievements. If you kind of just want to, you know, unlock this on your own accord, and you don't want me to spoil this for you, then please, you can end the video here, certainly. But we're going to back out and take a look at the achievements. So let's save and exit here, and let's take a look. Alright, so first and foremost, let's take out 7 Seas Explorer. So it's level 3 now. 35% discount on new islands. Lovely stuff there. We also got Monoculture level 2, so plus 4 production to crops that are on islands that have only crops of the same group. Plus 4 production. So imagine that with corn, right? And then the next level up is turn 500. Wow. Okay. So a 500 turn run. That sounds brutal. And 7 Seas Explorer is maxed out at level 3. That might be the cap for these achievements so far. So we got one. Monoculture. And then we have Save the Animals. So plus 3 production to all crops. So very nice. Plus 3 production. And then it doesn't look like Save the Animals condition 3 is established yet. But if we can use some context clues here from the monoculture, it just might be, again, another 500 turn run with no animals. Which I think is possible with the method that we just used. So those are the achievements unlocked here, folks. I think I'm going to get on out of here. I do want to thank you so much for your viewership, though. I really, really do appreciate it. If you are getting enjoyment and value out of this content, please consider becoming a subscriber. I would love to have you in the growing community that we have. I'm a new channel here, and, you know, if you are digging this kind of stuff, right, then consider joining up. I'd love to have you. Help support me. So with that said, folks, I am getting on out of here. Again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. We'll be catching you in the next video. Thanks a lot.